What's up? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, being subbed. If you're not, hit the button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit that like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into the politics and BS. As we get closer and closer to the election, we are seeing more and more of these people's true colors. And Tucker Carlson is somebody that people have seen his scales for years. He is disgusting. He is a racist to the core and a privileged racist. Like a number of races are. They are privileged and wealthy, and honestly, in the grand scheme of it all, no other ethnicity is a threat to taking anything away from them that they have, but because they want to stay in such a space and place of power that they want to rev up the base and get the poor racists angry, which is always laughable to me, because we know, and those who know, I should say, race is a social construct. It was created to divide and conquer. Poor white people have a whole lot more in common with poor black people than they will ever have in common with a white wealthy person. Even a white propped up wealthy person like Donald Trump, who would never even allow these people even near the entrance of Mar-a-Lago. You get me? So there's no threat to people like Tucker Carlson of having anything taken away from them by black people, but because of the rise in the numbers of other ethnicities, they just have this fear within them. One, the fear because of all the stuff that they've been doing wrong that's been happening over all of the many years. And now when a little bit more rights are given to these other ethnicities and just the different things that people have been able to experience to be able to excel, you feel that it's some way a threat to your lineage, your generation, heritage, whatever. And so you spew garbage like this. I want to play a little bit of this speech that he spoke at Turning Point. It's like some conservative, I say racist, religious thing that they're all for Donald Trump and wanting him to be the president again, but they're telling you this out loud. And this is the stuff that I just don't understand why people like, just to name a couple of names, Dr. Umar Johnson, Lord Jamar, people that have been out here just speaking so harshly and negatively about Kamalaharris. Why don't they speak about stuff like this? Because they're talking about you. They're talking about you. So to get offended because Barack Obama has said some things that hurt your feelings or pissed you off or insulted you about you should be voting for Kamala, that insults you, but this doesn't? It is crazy to me. It's like they just put the mute button on stuff like this. They put their fingers in their ears and say la 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 when stuff like this is happening, but you want to get offended by Barack Obama saying what he said about black men not wanting to vote for a woman, or not believing that Kamala is actually black, which, let's just be clear, I've spoken about this a number of times already. I don't care what her ethnicity is. It really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter what she identifies as. And I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't really care if Rachel Dolezal was running for president against Donald Trump. I vote for her over Donald Trump. I'm just saying. Smurfette, whoever. I'm just saying. But they don't say anything about stuff like this, but these people are telling you in clear view, in public, not behind closed doors. Cameras are there filming this stuff. It wasn't somebody pulling out an iPhone and recording it and then uploading it on the internet for people to see. No, they knew cameras were there. He knew that this was being filmed, recorded, and will be available for people to see. And he's speaking like this to the public about what he feels, and all of those people in there feel that you are. And then the few black faces that were in that crowd, they really believe that they are not included in what he was speaking about. But he's speaking about you.
this country is so nice, it's so polite, it's so thoughtful and empathetic and sweet. It's the kind of country that loves dogs and gives directions to strangers, that we put up with it for 4 years. But we can't anymore. We just can't. And we can't for 2 reasons. The first reason that we can't put up with it for 1 more minute is because it's just not justice. It's not. It's not justice. It's unfair. You cannot reward the most parasitic, useless, violent, nasty, aggressive people in your country. You can't make them the richest. You just can't. It's just wrong. In a fair, decent country, the people who work the hardest, who have the highest level of talent, who are the most creative, who are the most decent to their neighbors, who give the biggest tips to waitresses, those people should be successful. Those people should be revered.
Listen, it just disgusts me to hear that, but that's how he really feels. I've always said I'd rather know that someone is racist so I know what I'm dealing with and I wouldn't have to deal with them if I don't have to, versus someone who is covert, who's trying their best to cover it up. You can kind of tell, but you don't really know. And I do feel that these types of people actually are the minority. I don't believe that the majority of Caucasians feel the way that he feels. I'm not saying that they don't have like their preferences, or if they would just really desire to be around people that look more like them, identify like them more so, whatever that just means that they're 100% racist. No, I'm not meaning that, because that actually is the way that most cultures feel. They feel more comfortable and confident around people that look like them, that identify, how they identify, grew up, how they grew up, whatever. Like, that's normal. That's normal. So I'm never here to speak against anything like that, but I'm speaking about the hatred, the bigotry, the racism. This country was founded on racist ideologies, and it still spews through the veins of the systems. That's why they call it systemic racism in schools. Like, that stuff is a real thing. But I don't believe that the majority of the people as a whole actually are racist. And that's why Donald Trump was not reelected the last time. And that's why I hope and pray he will not be elected this time. But for people that are Latino, that are Indian, that are Asian, that are African American, that actually believe that Donald Trump has their best interest at heart with anything that he wants to enact and implement, is absolutely crazy. And Tucker Carlson, he speaks. He is like one of the mouthpieces for Donald Trump, if not worse, because he's younger than Donald Trump. Like, Donald Trump is that old racist that is dying out. Hopefully, I'm just going to speak it sooner than later. And that doesn't mean that I'm saying anybody does anything to him, but there's a whole lot of people that get sick and die. There's a whole lot of people that go to sleep and don't wake up. I prefer that over somebody trying to take them out themselves. So there's nothing wrong with that. I want that to die out. I really do. But Tucker Carlson, he's a younger, much younger version of Donald Trump. Ron DeSantis, governor of Florida, much younger version of Donald Trump. People like that, they're absolutely dangerous. And there are, unfortunately, too many of them. Like I said, I do believe the majority of people are not that way, to that extreme, but there are a whole lot of them. The Stephen Millers, there's just too many of them. And I really hope and pray that people wake up. It's less than a couple of weeks away from the election. Early voting is already in place. And I do believe that a lot of people who are seeing these things, listening to these things, have listened to these things. There's been a whole lot of people that have come out that are Republicans, say they're still Republicans, but this is country over party. This isn't about that right now. Let's try to get back to that place where it was about party. But right now, Donald Trump has taken us over, and I don't identify with him and his evil ways. And I really hope and pray that a whole lot more people who were not speaking up and speaking out, they're going to use their vote as their voice and do just that. Because I really just want him to go off into the sunset and leave us the hell alone. So guys, you let me know your thoughts in the comment section.
You know when you turn me around, when the neighbors yell turn down, we keep it going like pom pom pom. Throw it back then rotation, flick our wrist and just season, shine bright as that season. Girl, you know you are a jam 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 jam, jam 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 jam, jam 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 jam, sounding like you're wasting every time. Jam 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 jam, jam jam.
Thanks for being here, liking, and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.